Hello, welcome back to Dice Dropping's Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game. Chronicling House Weirlight. How you guys doing? How's House Weirlight doing? You guys doing okay?
Yeah,
House Weirlight is
we're doing great.
Doing
Yep.
spicy.
cousins of House Weirlight, probably not so much.
Spicy.
Yeah, our family relations aren't the best, but
Uh-oh.
Well, also spicy. Everything going on at home. But
yeah.
we're not there. Bailey just...
Speaking of, it's just me at home tonight. So
Yeah.
Having some mental breakdowns at home with our favorite steward. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Whoa! All right. So everyone's doing okay, getting ready to get back into it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I know some of y'all have some plans.
We have hopes. We'll see if any of them get
And
dashed.
dreams, but one day.
Some of you definitely have some plans. I know who I'm looking at right now.
Not
You
me.
know.
Well, sort of.
Whoa.
Mm,
I didn't talk to him,
That's
so it's not me.
Like that's
Alright.
that could be everyone here.
it's true.
I have no plans.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I know we all think we know where we're going to pick up, but y'all are wrong.
Sounds
All
accurate.
We go to a completely different family in the north.
Yeah.
No. We go all the way down to the south. We go to Dorne.
7 new
Yes.
people come in, you have no idea who they are.
The camera lifts up into the air and we see it move beyond the wall.
Beyond the wall.
Across the sea.
7 people of wild
Up
energy.
Westeros, it goes across
We
the
just
sea.
pick up an Esso somewhere.
Yeah.
Way to reveal my season 2.
Yeah.
Heather.
Guys, I can't wait to go and die in a foreign country with no money.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Whoa.
Love that.
All right. So I think questions, comments, concerns. Anybody?
No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm good.
I
So
believe my
nervous.
only general question might slightly get addressed within like the little intro bit.
Mhm.
It's that challenge thing. It's like, how much fucking time do we have to possibly but I figure that might be dealt with within the slight intro you might provide us.
Yes. So, however, where we start is with Clarissa. Your body is being shaken. And you are sitting up from your desk, as apparently you have fallen asleep there again. It looks like the sun shines brightly outside. Seems like a perfect, beautiful day. And you see your cousin, Cedric, just shaking you, being like, cousin.
What, Cedric?
Cousin. We have to go into the fields. The farmer who originally alerted us about the issue, he's back. Just
Where is he?
just you just like follow me.
Okay.
We turn back. Cedric looks concerned. However, when you get out to the front gate where this man is, he looks like he's in a good mood. He's like smiling, kind of looking around. He goes, my lady steward, and bows deeply. Just wanted to tell you that whatever you did, problem's gone.
They're
Just wanted to give you
gone?
my heartfelt thanks.
Well, you're very welcome. We're glad to be of help.
Like, but of course, Sir Cedric said he wanted to see it.
Yes, of course. We'd
But,
love
yeah,
to see how
great.
it works.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, by your leave. And Cedric's like, your horse and his horse are already being brought up. And yeah, y'all mount it and ride off. About an hour, like hours out, less than, you come to the same field where you picked that Weirlight, where you saw those rows of Weirlights. And they're gone.
When did this happen exactly?
Oh, a few days ago after your men came by. About 2 days ago.
Huh. Well, this is great news. Hopefully, it means we'll have an actually decent harvest.
Yeah, I don't know what your men did, but seemed to do the trick. Everything seems good.
Which men are you speaking of? Just so I can give my thanks.
Oh, well, I didn't know their names. They didn't introduce themselves, my lady, but
Sure.
kind of a tall, muscular one, face a bit like a dog, and then there was the skinny, pale one. They seem to fix it right up.
Good. Well, I'm glad then. Thank you very much for letting us know. Please come back if you find any others.
Oh, I will, my lady. And I'd say, seems everyone else is starting to calm down after I say, always said, the Weirlights, any kind of trouble comes by, they fix it right up. They care about their small folk, and and this shows it. So, just want to give my heartfelt thanks. It don't mean much from someone like me, but appreciate it.
It means everything. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, miss. My lady. Just like
Miss is fine. I'll turn to Cedric and kind of jerk my head to the side so that we can get back.
Yeah. Yeah, Cedric looks real upset and concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he gets on goes to get on his horse, he's just like, I did not send any men.
I assumed not. Has there been... We need to ask Nero if anybody's been let into town recently. I would also ask that you talk to your men, see if anyone stopped by for any other reason, not Weirlight related. I know you didn't order it, but just in case.
Yeah, will do. But those men he described, they don't sound familiar to me. I don't know any pale men in my brigade.
You work them hard enough, they could never be pale.
Fair enough. No, it's concerning.
How long? Yeah, sorry, Tony. How long has passed since I first woke up after passing out at the stables? Do I know that?
After passing out at the stables?
Yes, when I put my horse back after coming back from the hedge.
Yes, of course. You're not sure exactly?
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
You're really not sure.
Cool.
All right. Fair enough. I suppose we ride back.
Because I assumed you haven't asked anybody.
No. I asked when I woke up, I asked the maid, and she said it had been 3 hours since I fell asleep.
Yep.
But that's all I know. So.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Ride back then.
Absolutely. We will cut to, once again, the floor of the chapel within Helm's Crest. Many people are standing. Most other guests are agag and shocked at what has just been thrown down. Young Darren Manning standing tall near the end of one aisle, certain Hog and just 4 or 5 feet away from him, staring him down, and Darren has been rubbing his face from a gauntlet. Sylvie Hart seems shocked and aghast, and is up against Kevin. Kevin looks hurt and confused and perhaps a slowly broiling anger and frustration.
Understandable.
It is at this point. Everyone's kind of a little confused, maybe taking a moment. Gerard Hart stands and just immediately says, "Boy, this is ridiculous. You have no claim on ethics." And the Septon, who is presiding over the ceremony, and he goes, "Yes, young man, you cannot actually do this unless there is standing and consent from many parties." And Darren goes, like, but this is the moment where people can challenge for the right to have a bride. And and the Septon says, "Young man, that about 300 years ago, yes.
God.
It is rarely enforced unless you have proper backing." And Darren is looking confused. If this is the moment, if anyone wants to say anything, try and convince someone of something. Yep. Okay, Mariella.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to. Where exactly am I in the sept? For my understanding.
You're in the there are like basically two like aisles essentially, and you're on the right aisle at the front. So you're very witness to all of this.
Okay. Oh God. Shit. We're not at home where women have rightful say.
You can always try anything.
You can talk. I think.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, you're part of his family too.
Yeah,
so.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay. I would definitely love to try to make eye contact with my cousin Kevin. First and foremost.
Okay.
God. Considering all of the events that have occurred within the past day or so, I do not deny that rightful action should be taken for this. Sylvie's honor should absolutely be maintained. There should be no question in that. But she has dealt with many emotional upheavals. Can we not possibly, with you, cousin, Lady Sylvie's father, and Sir Hogg, possibly have a discussion of rightful action to deal with this in a less public setting?
Yeah. So what are you trying to do right now?
I am trying to hopefully
get them to
convince them to
get this out of the public.
Placate everything.
Get this out of the public because gossip mongers everywhere.
Absolutely.
And
I will. Okay, cool. Go on.
And it's like, yes, due course should absolutely happen. There is something wrong here. I do not deny it. But also trying to play on the sympathy of Sylvie has been through a shit ton.
Yeah.
It's like this is her wedding day.
Yeah. Absolutely. So in fact, actually already they seem like they are already on board to that. However, Darren slaps Sir Ettenhog.
Oh god.
Just with an
I would
open
very
hand.
much like you, Mariella, to try and I would like you to make a convince roll. Now, to convince most parties involved, it's not going to be that difficult. You preach pretty sound wisdom. However, it will be more difficult for others.
I'd imagine.
Does Darren just break his hand on Hog's jaw?
Hog's jaw.
It's not a dignified slap, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
So
good.
So I don't have
Okay.
So I don't have convinced. That's under persuasion.
Yeah, it is under persuasion.
So it'll be
And
straight
we're going
persuasion
to
and
yeah.
pray that it's not low numbers other than 1 where I can reroll them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're going to treat this as a quick mass intrigue
Awesome.
rules. So
Got this.
you will get to add a +1 on the end of this
Okay.
Done.
because they know you, and also Kevin knows you as his cousin.
No one's in that, so
Okay.
a 16.
17.
17.
Mhm.
Okay.
Pretty good.
17.
Mhm.
Yeah. So many Gerard and Kevin like look at each other and they like seem to agree.
Oh God, Hog.
For sure. Like and they're like Kevin tries to like go forward and Gerard and just be like can we discuss this like outside? Darren seemingly he seems to have realized that he has done something
Stupid.
awful.
Has he?
Mhm.
However, he is now it seems on his face that he's maybe going all in.
Oh. No.
Sir Evan Hogg, well, actually, maybe. Actually, you know what? You got a 17. Hold on, let me check his stuff. Let me check Darren here.
Please.
What's your persuasion?
Please, Darren.
It's your will. Oh, nice, good will. Yeah. So, yeah. He goes, can we discuss this somewhere else? Like, please go. And Darren's like, very well. And he seems those 4 men will go and leave the side of the chapel. Sylvie, Kevin first goes to Sylvie and like gestures to move her off. Sylvie looks fucking mortified and more than a little angry.
It's her fucking wedding.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Totally understandable.
A couple of reactions. You just hear like, "This is why I don't go to weddings." Dover.
Fair.
you see Harold, and you just see Felice like hit him like. Stop. He's like,
Oh man.
I know what you mean.
Does it look like Sylvia is being brought to like where her mother is, or like is she
yeah,
just like lonely up there?
Is she like being
No,
taken
she's
care
moved
of?
off. They've moved away from the chapel.
Okay, good.
They've left the chapel.
Okay, so she
you
went
see
with
his-
them.
You see her mother get up there, go and leave.
Okay.
Naimora, you see Orton Lugas, the guy you met, and he's just the whole time he went like and just like slowly moving his face.
Oh man.
Just be like,
Yeah. I totally resume sitting, deep breaths, because it's like I don't tend to make big shows of things in general. I leave that to my twin. So it's like, okay.
I'll reach over and pat her on the shoulder.
mhm.
Pat Marielle on the shoulder.
All right. Does anyone want to
Breathe,
follow?
Yes, I will stand up now and follow.
Okay, Tidrick, you
Yeah,
go.
like I trust my parents to follow. It's like I just did something exceedingly ballsy.
Anyone else want to go as well?
I'll go.
Okay.
I will put my hand out for my wife
Mm-hmm.
to help her up.
Yep. Henrik, Naimora, Mariella.
Oh no, I just did something super ballsy in front of everybody.
She's probably
You
sitting
will?
down beat red.
Yeah.
What is Henrik doing?
I mean, I want to go as Aaron, but I don't know if Henrik would feel any need to go right now because I'm like, this feels like a them conversation. I don't know if I'd have anything to add to this at this point. So like, I don't
Would you
think
want to go just to see what happens?
Yeah, kind of.
And to defend yourself?
I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to be defended for anything, right? I didn't do anything wrong here. Oh, gosh. I think I'll just stay here right now with my twin.
Okay.
I think I'll just
All right.
Can't think of a reason for me to go there. Yeah.
So
Moira stays with the twins.
yeah. So you go out. It just the side of the chapel leads out into this small like garden with a hedge surrounding it. Cedric, Vivian, when you guys go out there, there's a small stone bench to the side where Sylvie and her mother are sitting. You see, like Darren on the ground, rubbing his face. However, it looks like Kevin is the one who punched him from the look of it.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Keep it in the family.
Mm-hmm.
I will look around for my man.
Your men, they're not out here.
Well-
This is like a secure little area.
Okay.
Your men aren't really like allowed in the castle really because that's like kind of
enough.
running
A
a
show
castle
force.
101 a little bit.
No, fair enough.
They're generally outside. But yeah, no, you kind of see this is just this group of nobles. Lord Gerard and Sir Etten look very upset. Like Kevin's just sort of tirading at him, just saying things like, "Do you have any idea what you've done? How could you do this? Like father just died, and you already are looking ways to make a mockery of our family." Darren at this point kind of gets up a bit and just yells, "You didn't even want to marry her." And Kevin looks kind of affronted by that. It goes, the month leading up to this, you were talking about how evil she was going to be and how horrible, but the moment you saw her, suddenly everything's fine. And Kevin is just like staring at him like, what? And you guys are just kind of out there now. He goes, just like, I thought this is what you're supposed to do. Like, I don't know how you do this. I thought that was the whole point of him asking that. And he just seems really confused and upset. And Kevin just like walks away. And Gerard is like, well, something must be done. And Sir Etten goes, yes, something must be done. It goes,
I will nod and agree as I walk up. Yes, something should be done. Any suggestions?
And he goes, Sir Etten goes, I have one. This boy besmirched the honor of my lady. I cannot take that sitting down by my honor as a knight and my respect for my lady. I challenge him to a duel. And Darren's like, well, I accept. He seems like just fueled with teenage
I look at
righteous
Darren.
anger. Yeah.
And I give him a glare and go, boy, you do not know what you're speaking right now.
Okay. Mm. And he kind of looks at you and goes, well, Uncle, I have to accept a duel, right? He's just like looking around like, right? All the men are nodding. Only the men, though. Kevin seems like he's not engaged in the conversation.
Mhm.
Like walked off. Rather like, I mean, if you were challenged to a duel, you wouldn't back down, would you, Uncle?
I also know when I am outclassed.
So
If you go with this duel, you will die.
Well, I am no swordsman. That's true, but I can't. Can I refuse? And so realistically, you two know, Etna already challenged him publicly. At this point, this is not looking great for him, right? Like,
Yeah.
Etton's not gonna not take things. He's in this. You guys are giving real world life, like, well, of course, why would you do this? That's ridiculous. But this is a medieval feudal setting. This is how things are done, right? We as modern citizens know this is stupid and ridiculous.
Indeed.
But in this setting, these are two men seemingly like, yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Vivian, do you want to say anything?
So I had a question.
Absolutely.
So we know I guess I can't say the best outcome, but there was a public issue challenge, and if one does not go off, does that kind of rattle the foundations for the wedding proceeding, or like how socially, like what does that implement? Like, do we know?
A lot of only bad things for Darren.
ramifications?
A lot of bad things for Darren and his family, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Vivian, you can always ask, like, it is technically Sylvie's honors of search. You can always ask her what she wants.
Sure. That would be, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sylvie, your honor is the one that has been called. What would you demand of Darren?
Mm-hmm. So I will at this point, the Septon is out here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard kind of goes over to talk to him. The Septon, you hear him ask, why, like, he seems to not know. He's like, he probably wasn't like a noble before he became a Septon. He goes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why Sylvie's honor is in question if Darren has called for challenge. And Gerard looks at him and goes, because something Darren didn't know, that you only are allowed to honor a challenge if you have a claim of love on the woman, which means, and kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
Darren inadvertently called my daughter a whore, and so that she's not a virgin. And Hepburn goes, ah.
Yeah.
So you go up to Sylvie, you ask, like, what you want done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Her head has been kind of down,
Mm-hmm.
and her face looks up. And Vivian, you grow a little concerned because her face is cold looking. And
As in, like, she's got, like, I'ma kill you eyes, or, like, she's, like, sick and pallor?
no, murder eyes.
Ah, I see. Mm-hmm.
It goes, that boy made Kevin look like a fool, and me worse. Etten, I want you to kill him. And Kevin kind of hears that. He goes, Sylvie. And she just like turns and stares at Kevin, and Kevin looks at her like pleading, and she's just breathing in and out and looks down at the ground. She looks just furious.
Right. Oh, I don't know if I'm sorry. I'm looking at the book for like intrigue things. Can like
Yeah.
mollify to try and pull her back from her bridezilla rage right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. You
Okay.
absolutely can. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be probably either convince or charm, depending on
Okay.
your tactic.
I would like to try and use because I know what I want to say to her.
Like, convince would be using reason. Charm would be using platitudes and flattering.
I think I want to use reason, like
Sure.
with all of the death that brought us to this situation. Do you want your new marriage on the foundation of killing your husband's brother?
Right? It's very logical.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's very good you guys brought this away from the public because this conversation
Yes.
would be really bad in
Oh
public.
god, I'm so nervous.
That was a good move by Mariella. Absolutely. Why don't you give me that roll?
Okay.
Yes, very good job, Mariella.
Okay.
Nervous fingers. 28.
Jesus.
There we go.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And 3 6s. Oh my.
So that was a good kind of opening volley on her, and she just kind of like, this entire event is already stained with the blood of people who did not deserve their fate. Why shouldn't it end with at least the destruction of someone who does deserve it? And she just like stares daggers at Kevin. And Kevin kind of like looks at daggers at Darren, excuse me. And Kevin kind of looks at her and sort of goes and just like clenches her fists really tight. And just like,
Hey Tony, I know I said I didn't want to be out there.
You can come out at any
but
time.
I still rather. I think like
Yeah.
Henrik came down and like probably not wanting to be like ooh, wedding troubles, like not my business. But then like things like crap. I probably convinced him with like that bad advice about love and like reading poetry on what to say. So
Sure. You can start to come out.
Yeah,
you can
like
absolutely start. You can start to come out. However, Sylvia's going to finish her statement, and she's going to look up at you, Vivian, and she goes, but you're right. I don't. More death wouldn't do any good. You're very wise, but if Sir Etten doesn't defend my honor, you know what's going to happen to me.
I do.
So I think Darren should face the consequences of his actions, and she's just staring directly at Darren. Darren feels like, you see his face. He's just like, like,
right. What?
He seems very nervous. Goes, and Etten goes, I agree. And just like stares at Darren with a smile, and it's a very, very malicious smile. And Henrik, you come out at that point. You hear the tail end of it.
So happy I'm not there.
You hear the tail end of it.
ooh, yeah. Yeah, I can hear it. I think I'm just gonna walk over like to Darren and be like, just like, I was like, cause like I didn't. Why didn't you tell me this? Like you asked for advice about love. You what?
Yes,
this is stupid.
I
What
did what you
do?
said.
No. Oh God.
Can we
You
hear
all
that?
can hear that.
Or
You can all hear that. Yes.
I just look over at the both of them, mainly focusing on Henrik.
Like, goes, I obviously didn't tell you who it was. You would have.
No, because it would
Try
have
and
been
stop
different
me.
advice. Then maybe you don't try to woo and like ruin someone's wedding or someone who's already engaged. You don't try to steal them away from someone else, especially if they're your brother.
But Kevin doesn't love her. I love her.
You met her yesterday. Did you even speak a word to her?
Didn't. I mean, I
Oh,
didn't.
you
have
didn't,
to.
because you told me you didn't. You told me you saw her from across the room. You don't love her. You think she's pretty. And she is, but that doesn't mean you have a right to marry her or take her away from your brother or even claim that you love her when you clearly don't.
Oh my god. Yeah, Henrik. Nice. Henrik. Why don't you? We'll go into that. Henrik, why don't you give me a persuasion convince?
Henrik
Okay.
has very strong feelings about love, guys.
I really do, okay?
And about
God
loving.
damn it.
He's a
Where
sensitive
they
man.
come from, I mean,
I try
I'm about to say, probably gets from Tidra.
persuasion, just regular persuasion, right? I don't have convince or anything like that.
And
Yeah,
if you
so
get
it
any
would just
ones,
be
you gotta
persuasion.
re-roll them because you're attractive.
Thanks.
Well, that doesn't work
Because
with
you-
Darren because
Oh.
Darren does not
Damn.
find.
Damn it.
Damn.
Even like in like this is a good looking dude kind of way. Damn.
It
Alright.
specifically states a more.
Cousins.
I know.
We have gone 1 week.
Ooh.
It's not great.
1 week
Okay.
without mention of incest.
6 and a 1, not
He
great.
goes, like, we'll kind of like breathes out, which that does beat his
Okay.
his social defense.
Awesome.
He's an awkward
But-
boy.
Yeah,
Poor boy.
and his defense against you is very low because
Mhm.
he likes you a lot. So
Oh.
Oh,
Family, man.
yeah,
yeah.
I feel it.
technically that's at 12. So he just goes like, he goes, I don't like. I don't know. I've seen so many pretty girls, but she just seemed so different. And it's not because she's beautiful. It was her eyes. And he's whispering very quietly to you now.
Yeah.
He's gotten very close to you. He seems like he's getting a little emotional.
Okay,
That's
that's
kid
fine.
who knows
I
he's in
think
trouble kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like
And-
I kind of dropped the judgment I had and like just kind of looked like with
Well,
a little bit of
he-
sympathy and like understanding. It's like, yeah, I get it. It's okay.
It's like her eyes, she smiled so beautifully, but her eyes held something so different. And it thought it was like mine.
Oh.
I know. And gonna be honest, there are few girls that are like that.
And he just kind of starts crying and he goes,
Oh.
Shred's gonna kill me.
She's not gonna kill you.
He's gonna kill me. He said he would. He told me how he'd do it too. And now it's happening.
No, listen.
And my
it's-
brother's not gonna care. Nobody's left to care.
Put my hand on his shoulder.
He's like, I just want to maybe try to do something for myself. And thought maybe I could make someone else happy. And I know it's stupid, but I didn't know what else to do. And he just doing that, and he kind of like presses his
I
head
just
against
look
your
over at,
shoulder.
Yeah, I'm just like
Sylvie.
in the almost holding him, but not quite. 'Cause I'm like it's
So-
okay. Like
Sylvie,
you gotta stand up.
So he's talking very quietly. Doesn't most people can't hear what he's saying. Tidrick and Vivian, I know you're a little closer, so I think you guys can kind of hear this a bit. Etten is currently
Sharpening
like-
a whetstone.
essentially, yeah.
Dude, calm it down. All right.
Salivating.
Sylvie and Kevin are seemingly speaking. Kevin down on one knee, like talking to Sylvie very quietly, and Sylvie just looking like she has the weight of the fucking world on her shoulders.
So Anthony,
You see Gerard has demanded some people to go get him wine, and he's drinking it heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh yeah, he's I forgot about that.
Anthony,
Yes.
I just want to get something clarified.
Yeah.
So, this is to defend Sylvie's honor.
Sort of, yeah.
If Sir Etten loses,
Yeah.
what would be the what would happen because of that?
Ooh. Well, it depends. This isn't a trial necessarily. So if Sir Etten loses this fight, then essentially it wouldn't necessarily that it proves Sylvie is that, because someone did defend her honor, right? Especially if this duel isn't made super public. It could be bad for Sylvie for sure. Now, the fact that she's already still going to be married to Kevin, and if she loses, Kevin is still going to marry her, that probably won't be bad. Also, there's so much shit that already happened at this fucking wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be bad for Sylvie for sure. However, Tidrick, you definitely have been in wars. You know when a man is definitely about to murder another man.
Mm-hmm.
If Etten and Darren fight, Darren
is
gonna die.
Dead.
Darren's gonna die. You've seen Etten fight. Everyone has. He's good. He's a damn good knight. Darren has barely ever held a sword.
I'm gonna walk over to Henrik and Darren.
Okay.
I think I already know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna, my cousin, sort of leaning against me. It's like, listen, it's like to want to be your own person and feel like you're constrained by your family, and to want someone and there to be complications with that. And I'm sorry for the advice I gave you, and that I wasn't smart enough to see what you were really asking for. And you're my family, and I'm not going to let him kill you.
And yeah, he looks up and sees Tidrick standing right there as well. You're not.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Yeah, father.
Son. Nephew. So what have we decided?
I don't know if I was sitting down, but if I was, I'll stand up.
You're standing. You've both been standing.
Okay, all right. It's like, I'll be like, sir, and hug, cousin, looking at Kevin, and Lord Hart, I understand what my cousin did was foolish and wrong. I know, I know that you're right. Lady Sylvie's honor must be defended. However, it was partially due to my fault. I gave my cousin some ill advice, and although I wasn't completely understanding of the circumstances he was asking that advice for, I still take the blame for that. And I might be partially to blame by we're here. I would ask you, looking at a certain hog, I was like, your lady's honor, which I completely understand why. Could I fight on behalf of my cousin?
So he looks at Darren, and Darren goes, yeah, I will promote you as my second. Tidrick, Vivian, you see your son apparently taking responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Darren kind of being moved by everyone so far. He goes, I'll accept that. But I know there are terms, yes? Darren kind of stands up, and Etten goes, yes, generally. He goes,
yes, what?
Generally.
Oh, okay.
Watching
goes,
his chance to murder slip through his fingers.
A little bit. And he goes, very well. If my side loses, I'll accept death or banishment or whatever. But if my side wins, can I please be allowed to stay? But in exchange, I'll he kind of looks at you, Vivian, like, can I apologize?
That was going to be one of my terms, actually, that he apologized.
Apologizing publicly, I think, would do your house and name well.
He nods. He definitely like looked for you, and he looks. And Tidrick, he looks at. He goes, "Uncle, would that be? Do you think that could help things?"
I do believe so, considering you were not aware of the full severity of your actions.
He goes, "All right." So the terms are now set. Y'all killed it when you're talking, all three of you. Way to go.
I'm
You
so
have
happy I made
moved-
that private.
You have moved Darren to basically,
Thanks.
if Henrik loses,
Yeah.
Darren's kind of dead. He's gone. But if Henrik wins, then he's going to publicly apologize for what he did.
Nephew?
People are-
I'm so scared.
Nephew,
Yes, uncle.
I would also add in that you will no longer watch her while she sleeps.
He goes. He starts going down. Hog immediately looks a lot less interested. And he goes,
Good freaking weirdo.
"Fine. Well, I suppose I have to accept terms. My lady, are those terms good to you?" And she like looks up at you, Vivian. Like almost looking for advice, maybe.
I did want to amend that he would probably apologize no matter the outcome.
I was going to
But-
suggest that too.
I don't know if I can now. But
Well, if he loses the duel, that is essentially like, well, he's wrong. So
okay.
he doesn't need to apologize.
It's a
because
very
he's-
public statement, Dad.
He gonna be dead.
This is true.
I was gonna. I was thinking more like just his brother and like Sylvie, just because it's just messed up.
I just kind of motioned for her to breathe. And then
Very well. Very well. Big nod. However, I will state that I would very much wish if to not. And kind of like whispers to Kevin some stuff, and Kevin's like, "Oh, yes, no, I'll arrange something, don't worry." Puts a hand.
Darren's gonna be sent to the fucking wall.
Or not. Maybe not that bad. Hopefully not that bad. He'll die there for sure too.
or fosterling somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
All right, so
His room's gonna end up in the basement.
cool. There, Etten goes, "Very well, Lord Henrik, please don your armor, and I
Oh
suppose,
God.
here, as like his squire had already full mail and beginning to."
You don't have.
I don't have anything. Got leather armor. That's it. Shit.
Yep.
Ugh. Okay. Here we go. Outside,
Question.
Henrik's like very calm and slick. He's like, "I'm fine. I got this."
Question, Anthony.
Yeah.
Would Henrik fit in my full plate?
Not even remotely.
Okay. I didn't think so,
Figure
but
that.
it was
You're
worth a
far
shot.
wider than him. Also, all plate mail is like designed for one person, right?
That's
Like,
true.
nobody sells plate mail off the rack.
You don't want to get. You want to get your armor tailor fitted. You know, it's gotta be a custom made.
Naimora, I just want to. Are you sticking with Mariella?
Or are you noticing that it's taking a while out here?
It's like if
yeah,
if you want to like go, like you can definitely collect Mariella, and like she understands, like you have divided interest amongst the twins.
Yeah,
She
she is.
gets it.
Naimora is looking
Fine.
like increasingly like nervous, and is just like looking back and forth between Mariella and the door, and Mariella and the door, and just like it's taking a while. Do you think that? What do you think is happening?
I'll probably like look at you. I'll nod, and I'll generally like nod towards the assembly, and like I'll head over. I don't want Naimora to be this fucking stressed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Understand.
Just
You guys go out there, yeah. So you see, some people have come out and come back in, and they're and Nymora, I think the thing that made you nervous, people are bringing weapons and armor.
Shit.
The thing that probably makes Mariella and Nymora want to go is you see someone is bringing Henrik's sword.
Yep.
what has your brother done?
The real question is, what doesn't my brother do?
I'm going to murder him.
Unfortunately, that's
Don't
not
tell
what
your
my
parents.
parents pay you to do. Although I agree with the sentiment.
I think they're going to pay me to do it after this.
I believe
Alright.
confinement.
You guys exit the church chapel, and yeah, you see Hog getting up in his regalia. Someone's handing him a shield, his blade, and Henrik's squaring up in a leather halberd.
Lovely. I make my way over to Mother and Sylvie and the ladies.
Henrik,
Father.
are you able to use a shield?
Yeah, my. Oh God, sorry, throat.
You were
If I
gifted
have
one.
a shield, actually, yeah, I've got a shield.
You have
I
a
do.
shield.
I have
Good.
a shield. I'm
Good. That's at least something.
Yeah, I think it'll come in handy. Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Etten kind of looks at you, Henrik, and goes, "My lord, where's your armor?"
I'm afraid, sir, this is all I have on me. Wasn't quite expecting
Etten,
to do what this
moves his
wedding.
helmet up and is like, he looks so concerned. He's just like, he's, Nymora, Nymora, you see Hog. But Hog immediately
like-
looks concerned that you don't have armor.
I'm like, I doubt my cousin had any armor, and you were planning on fighting him with probably nothing, so I think I'll be
Well, my
fine.
lord, very, and he very well, and just yeah. Gerard comes up to you, T. Drake, and he goes, "Does your son normally fight without armor?
He has before.
Do you think he will be all right?"
I'll go speak with the boy.
Drink.
Can I get
I'll
one of
come
those,
over.
please?
And I'll lean in close to Henrik.
Mhm.
I'm here. I'm getting my sword ready.
Strike true and strike first.
I know. I understand.
Do not hold back.
Just look at my father and just eye him up, give him a nod. Like, I will. Promise.
Yep. Yeah.
And I will step back
Okay.
to the appropriate distance.
Good lord.
Alrighty.
Is there no way that we can get armor for?
You absolutely could.
Yeah.
Some of your men have mail armor. You could
Borrow.
make them give that.
Are there any is there any guards or anyone around?
I mean,
like,
you could
have,
go
like-
get your guys.
Yeah, Nymora just breaks away from
Sure.
everything. It's just everybody hold on for a fucking second, all right? And it's just gonna dash back.
A lot of the nobles are like,
How dare this
I don't give a shit what they think. I'm going to go
The
find
audacity.
whether it is one of our guards or one of the or one of the Hearts guards or one of the Manning's guards who looks roughly appropriate to.
well, the only person you could probably convince is one of your men, right?
I'm not going to bother convincing anybody.
Take it. Nice, Laura.
So wait, what? Okay, so you want to go up to a random guard you don't know?
No, just who?
Give
Just
you his
who?
men?
strip?
No, just I am looking for whoever looks like they would be the right size. I don't care who it is,
You're trying to piecemeal me some armor and
as
goodwill
long as it is
out?
the right size.
Yeah, I mean,
If I can find that among our people, that is
Pretty
preferable. but-
skinny.
yeah, I will definitely say
Noted.
you will not get armor from anyone who isn't people because they don't listen to you.
Mm.
You could, of course, duel them for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
No, I was just
No.
Double duel.
I was just going to give them money for it.
money for it, they still won't because they had to buy their own armor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's way quicker, and yeah, you can just say one of your men has it, right? You just go out. They're literally right outside the door, like with all the other men, right?
Yeah. It's really
also,
not that far.
Also, mail isn't made to fit, right? Every male halberd is literally the same size. You just got to use belts and cuffs.
It's just a chainmail snuggie.
Exactly. Yeah, so you can go out and just be like, Hobbins, and he's like, give me your mail.
I'll bring it back.
And he goes, okay. You're in charge, technically, so yeah, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, just take his chainmail snuggie off and scabbard and give
These
it to
are the
you.
only people
That's what it is now. It's now chainmail snuggie for the rest of the time.
Chainmail snuggie.
These are the only people that I have any say with
I know.
whatsoever.
Yep, basically.
And I
And they're
use
like,
my power to make them get naked.
yep. So he's got,
You gotta do what you
he's not
gotta
naked.
do.
He's got a bunch of padding.
Just like, oh, that looks awkward. Be right back. I'm just gonna take the chainmail. Yeah.
Oh, that looks... Ooh.
I'm gonna take the mail
One back.
back. Yeah, take the mail back to Henrik and just like shove it at him.
Cool.
And
So,
just like, if you die, I'm never going to forgive you.
All right, so mail gives you armor of 5, and it's a penalty of 3.
I will come up and help him put it on. No, actually, no. I'm not going to do that.
It's chainmail. I think I got it.
Yeah.
I can probably.
That would like say like
I got it. It's like,
I mean, yeah, it would be a lot easier with someone helping.
Mhm.
plus my shield, right?
okay, so I will help
Yeah.
him then. I will.
Well, yeah, so your shield adds to your combat defense,
Yeah.
right?
it is, Yeah.
And then your armor adds to your, like, armor rating, which is to let you get rid of the penalty, though, is 3, so that takes 3 away from your combat defense.
I believe the shield is 4.
I believe so. So,
Let's see here.
well, it depends on the shield, actually.
I've got a large shield myself, and that's
Henrik does not have a large shield.
Don't-
That is not what you bought him.
I believe he has a normal.
no. I didn't. You're not going to be using that.
Don't care.
You're not gonna be using.
That shield will fall apart like paper mache.
Yep.
It's a decorative piece, not a fighting piece.
Come on, wheeling the decorative shield of Sir Duncan the Tall, and it's just like fucking like rust spots, bits and pieces of it are falling off.
All
It's like
right.
together with
So,
tape.
yeah, so your shield, I believe, does 2?
Yeah.
I believe that's what it is. Yes.
Yeah, so instead of a +2, you would be
Minus
One.
-1
to the combat defense.
Yeah, for your combat defense. Yeah.
All right. I can't see any place where I feel like I should have done this by now, but I have to put my armor defense though. I'm looking for that right now.
Okay, so the armor part.
Takes away damage.
Yes.
Got that? Yeah.
It's under armor. You put the name of the armor, then the rating, and then the penalty.
Yeah.
That'll automatically add it in up top,
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry.
or it should.
And then your armor rating
Okay.
is how much damage it takes away from what you take.
Armor rating is 5, correct?
Yes.
And it's penalty 3.
So armor makes you easier to hit, but you take less. That means.
Yeah, so you make sure the penalty you make actually -3 because that's when it's gonna take it, and then just add 2 in the little box, which is where your shield is, and then that should give you the correct defense.
Yes, thank you. All right, cool. My combat went down, my armor went up. Great.
Alrighty. So, we're gonna get to this duel, I guess.
Good lord.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm just happy
Right.
this is private.
I mean, it's private, but people are still like,
No,
People are
obviously.
People gossip.
Yeah, I guess that's the point. Is there like a crowd forming, or is it just us? What's
I mean,
going
people
on?
want to see what's going on, but like people close the door, so it's in this like little garden. But people know what's happening, right? People are already talking,
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
but no one's gonna watch except for select people. All right. So, Henrik, please make a quickness agility roll
Well,
to
indeed.
determine who goes first.
Oh God. Okay.
Threaten Hog.
Da, 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 da. Oh no.
Yep.
That's the one thing I do good. Oh,
It's not that quick.
Oh,
though.
that's even worse. Like he didn't beat me by like a lot.
Yep. So you both square up. He
Fucking ones.
taps his his blade to his shield and kind of salutes you.
Kind of getting to me. I'm a little nervous. So I was like, oh God, okay, gotta shake it
Yeah,
off.
you're starting to notice just how tall he is and how he goes into stance so much more fluidly than you do.
Yeah.
It's just small things where you're like, this guy might be good at what he does.
I knew.
I'm gonna look at Henrik. I'm gonna see if I can make eye contact with him.
Why? What do you want to do?
Just, I'm gonna reassure him.
Sure, you're just like,
Mhm,
got
mhm.
this.
Coordinate. I'm gonna assist via my eyes.
Mhm.
It probably does help a little bit. I think I remember how like my father like easily takes down like enemies like when he needs to. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's like
And
yeah,
you
okay.
and you fought in wars. You're a soldier,
And
Yeah.
you just
and he
killed
comes at you,
2 men.
and he just gives you a huge strike down in your chest. Now, what is your combat defense?
Tons of fans. Well, now, good Lord, we were just here.
-3 plus 2.
Just an 8 then. Wait, +2? No, just a 10.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look at your sheet.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make sure of some stuff. We want to do this right. All right. Well, no.
Ladies
So
first.
that's already. So that's the -3. That's the 2 already. And it is 8. So that is your combat defense.
8. Sorry, 8.
All right. Cool. So he gets 2 degrees of success. So he deals you 8 damage.
Minus
-5. So only 3 damage. So he kind of comes in. You kind of try to block it a bit, but it mostly gets your arm. No real blood or anything has been drawn yet. He's health in this game is a lot less being stabbed like D&D and more just like your like
How much you could take before you start bleeding?
It's
exactly.
a lot. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so he kind of deals you a blow, and yeah, he just immediately goes up and begins to kind of just hammer at you.
Mhm. Oh yeah, he gets a hit again.
Yes, he's going to try and hit again. Well, actually, no.
That was a
So he-
maneuver and a...
Yeah, I know. He approached you and then did it, but now
But
he's engaged with you. He seems to try to just be overpowering you at this point.
She probably
however-
might be able to.
However, it is your go.
Okay. Now, because he's close to me, I don't have to move up to him, so that's
No.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
you're-
Okay.
That is correct.
And now you can have 2 hits.
Would like to do that.
Yes.
Ooh, first time hitting twice. Here we go. And I have my long sword, so I'll use that.
Yep.
Nice.
Excellent.
Very cool.
So that is,
Mhm.
let's see here. Just shy. So 3 degrees of success.
Nice.
Getting there.
So what is
cool.
the damage?
And my
of
long.
your, what's the damage of your longsword?
That is my athletics, which is 4. Yeah. Plus
4.
1, I think. Yeah. Or no, just 4. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, yeah, it'll say the of your weapon in the weapon section.
Yeah, it's just the athletics. Sorry. The
Yeah.
damage is 1. Sorry about that. Yeah.
What?
The damage is 1. What?
That doesn't sound right.
No,
What is
sorry.
the damage
that
of
was-
your weapon?
That's a mistake on my part. Rolls. Yeah.
Okay.
4. You're right.
All right. Well, your athletics is 4, right?
Yeah.
Then it would be 5 damage.
Correct.
It's your athletics plus 1 is a longsword.
Thank you. That was what I was talking about.
Yeah. So the damage is 5. So that's 15 damage.
And he's got
Minus-
2 6s.
Well, no, you have to.
That-
Well, he does double it. So actually, that is a crit.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
shit.
you have doubled. You have doubled his combat defense, and you have 6s. He doubled your combat defense, but he didn't. He didn't get any 6s. So you have in fact crit.
Where's crit? Excited.
Yeah, I think I know what this one does. Yep, Your attack leaves your opponent reeling as a powerful hit. Increase the base damage of your weapon for the stack by +4.
So
Okay.
19
Base.
damage?
No, the base.
The base. So
The
it's
base.
5
Jesus.
plus
For-
4.
For
So
just this
9
attack or for all
times-
future attacks?
Just this attack.
So it's
Okay.
9 times 3.
Yeah, 9 times 3.
27.
27.
Jesus.
Um, So, Jesus Christ, you've just, completely overpowered. So yeah, he begins to just hammer and hammer, physically overpower you from his height and weight advantage. I would like you to describe to me how you beat him.
In one hit. In one hit.
Well, so here's the thing. Let me just check something right now in my head.
Yeah. I'm in shock.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Yep.
And-
Yep. Describe how you beat him.
Okay.
In one round.
Okay. So
We are the
Yeah,
one
shit.
round wonders.
fuck yeah,
Rolled
we
really
are.
well.
Oh my god.
You rolled really well.
When I'm matter. I think like okay, so I think after he's coming at me and like I'm getting a little nervous because speed's the one thing I have, and if he was quicker than me, I was like, fuck, it's like that sort of caught me off my guard. And then I know a lot of people aren't around, but I think I look at like my father and then my cousin, and then I just like block one of like his strike so it doesn't completely like cut into me as much, and like I was like, I'd appreciate it if you stopped threatening my family. And I'll try to like thrust up my sword into like upper arm clavicle muscle. I know it probably can't get fully in there, but
yeah.
like I don't want to kill him, but like just around this area of
What?
my body, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm just describing you. This is a duel, so this is more like you beating him back and like knocking him on the ground, right?
Yeah,
So I
I
just
think
describe how you do that. Unless you're trying to.
Yeah,
If you stab a man in the clavicle, he's gonna die.
I think I just like slice him upward, and then if he like reels back a little bit, I'll just like knock him to the ground with my shield and do that cool thing with your sword, like
Sword
where
to
you
the
put
throat.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the fact that, Naimora, you see that. You see Henrik immediately overpower Ettenhog, and just knock him to the ground, and place a blade.
She's just like jumping, just like clapping.
Like, yay.
I'm remembering what like when Naimora did the thing with the spear, and I'm like, I remember this.
Yeah, so yeah, you place a blade, and you just go, and he kind of looks up at you. I yield. And nobody looks that happy.
Yeah.
Besides Naimora. Naimora looks happy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Naimora looks very proud.
Sylvie and the rest, they don't look that happy. Not upset or anything, but just like, okay, cool, that's done. Some are a little like, Kevin's like, oh.
And I'll help him up.
Yeah, he will accept your help up. And he will clasp, he'll hit you on the back with his hand, and he goes, damn good riposte.
Thanks, you're quicker than I thought you were.
He shrugged. He shrugs. He goes, I'm used to the armor a little more. You're a lot stronger than you look. Can't wait to see you in a tournament. And he kind of like just pats you.
Oh.
One day.
Naimora like cups her hand. I'm gonna cup my hands around my mouth.
Yeah.
Just like sort of like shouting at him. It's just like, you won't fucking fight me in a tournament, but you'll fight the person that I trained?
Yeah. Yeah, he looks,
You'll fight the 15-year-old? You'll fight the boy of 15 summers before you'll fight the woman? Huh?
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Backing away.
I think you can and Sir Hogg can have your conversations in private.
apology.
He looks at you. He goes, "No harm done, Lady Vivian." He goes, "You can't expect much." And he kind of shrugs. And he does turn to you, Henrik. He goes, "Is it true? Did she train you?"
Indeed, she did.
Like, well, you learned very well from her. And he kind of like pats you on the shoulder. And yeah, he will kind of like leave the area.
Oh, God.
All right.
I will come over and I will clasp my son.
Yeah.
Proud Papa moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like, I'm reading the room. It's not like a happy moment, but I feel like definitely some pride and like just trying to like remain like in that stoic kind of thing. It's like, yeah, fuck it, got this.
I leave.
You.
Maimori turns around and leaves, yeah.
Yeah.
Opposite direction of Ettenhog.
Yeah. Okay, nice. You just whoosh. Yeah, absolutely. You going somewhere to like blow steam off?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Gonna go get raging drunk.
Raging drunk.
Absolutely.
Understood. Yeah. Darren approaches Sylvie and them and kind of bows and he goes, I didn't know what I was implying when I made that. I didn't get it. I didn't know that that's what this meant. And I'm truly very sorry. And I'll, of course, go tell everyone else that. But I am very sorry. Sylvie looks like she could give a shit what this kid is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But she just nods and goes, all right. And then just like turns to look at Kevin. Kevin like, thank you, Darren. Then Darren like nods and he'll just like turns and kind of walks out to before he leaves, he goes up to you, Henrik, and he kind of like stares at you, goes, and then he just kind of like, oh, the kitty. Then just like hugs you.
I hug him back, yeah.
Yeah, and he's
It's okay.
and he goes, thank you.
That's what family's for, and I know.
And
Sometimes I want things to be like fairy tales too, and it stinks when they're not.
and then he'll look at you, TJ, and goes, thank you, Uncle.
You're very welcome.
He will then go up to you, Vivienne,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, I'm so sorry, Auntie.
Oh. Well, we all learn from our mistakes. But
I will learn from this, I swear to you. I'll learn every day from it.
I'm glad to hear that, nephew.
I thought I didn't, and he's just like, I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
I forgive you.
He looks like that means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, okay. Okay. Yeah. And he will go out, and Mariella, who he's just realized you've like kind of been there. And he kind of turns and looks at you, goes, I'm so sorry, cousin.
I just kind of like just do a nod, just kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm. And he goes out and he addresses the crowd of people very ineloquently. He's very bad at it, and he kind of like has a breath thing for a little bit.
Hyperventilating.
He's like, He's like, I'm gonna do this. So, and then now he's seeing every. He's like, and then he just looks at the ground and begins, kind of apologizing. Gerard goes, "This entire thing has been a complete debacle." And he just like looks up.
Then I say, let the rest of it be merry.
He kind of turns and goes, "Lord Weirlight, you always know exactly."
Yes.
Oh.
Agreed. And Gerard goes over to, he goes, "Well, Lord Manning," and he kind of looks at Kevin. "I believe you have something you promised to do." And Kevin goes, "Oh, finish marrying, yes." And so with that goes, "Yes." And gets out. At this point, when everyone else is starting to come back out, Darren is now on an anecdote about. So he's not stopped talking.
Yeah,
Oh God!
Yeah, like
But-
proceed to like just be like, I think you're done. I think you've said everything.
Okay.
They're back.
He nods and goes to walk back. You see, Orton Lucas has kind of come up and be like, "Why don't you sit back here with me, Darren?"
No. Sorry, I don't know Orton Lucas, so I
Fine.
can't say anything. I don't like him.
You don't.
We don't know him.
I don't. He just disappears
Darren?
in the background, then shows up. I don't like him. Sorry, I'm gonna be
Darren,
quiet.
how's about you come sit with us?
Like, so TJ, you know that probably would be bad.
No.
I don't want him in the front
No.
when like Sylvie's there.
Yeah,
We're
we
like,
gotta put
yeah,
it-
we should
That's-
it's
That's
okay.
why Orton's more in the back, so he's like, Darren, and he kind of looks at you, TJ, like, "I've got you. I got your back."
Like I'll try to calm my mother down, being like no mother, we were with him on the hunt. He's a good man.
Oh, sorry, Vivian didn't say that. 'cause she has no
that was
idea.
Serena doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yes.
And Darren nods, and Orton kind of moves back. Because being a Lugus, Orton's family reputation isn't great, so it seems like he's willing to take a hit by like being seen with Darren.
Like, hey man.
Props to him, really.
Fair enough.
He definitely
One good
he
guy.
looks at you like TJ. He's Darren. Why don't you come back here with me? And Orton kind of like leaves the chapel with him, because Darren. It's probably bad if Darren was there. The ceremony finishes. Kevin and Sylvie are united. They kiss passionately. Kevin then demands of all his servants that can hear to destroy the reserve wines and and liquors and serve them to everyone. And everyone sort of gets ripped snortingly drunk.
Fuck yeah.
Woo!
Again, didn't we get like super drunk the night
You
before
did.
too?
I did not. I proceed to continuously
Yeah.
not because Nymora is now nowhere to be seen.
Mhm.
And my brother has probably
So,
abandoned
Nymora-
me like he promised he
Nymora-
would.
Oh no!
Are you- have
I'll
you-
get drunk, but I think I'm staying next to you. What am I gonna do?
I have a question.
With here.
I have a
Yes.
question here, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Nymora.
Yes.
So, where have you gone off to?
There's got to be like a bar or an inn or a tavern or something, right?
In here, no. It's
No,
really a
there's-
Helmcrest. The nearest town is several miles.
Okay.
Our men are out there with all of our provisions.
Yeah, I mean, there's places to go be alone. There's places to go get a drink. You
Yeah.
can go to the barracks or something.
Yeah,
and grab a
it's
drink there.
I think she probably goes to the barracks so that she can just drink and be.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. So while you're in there for a little bit, drinking, fuming, and you see Sir Etten Hogg
Uh-huh.
walk in to the barracks, and he's like, there you are.
Come to gloat some more.
He kind of looks at you confused. He goes, I'm fairly certain I was the one who just lost.
Yeah. Lost to my student. Good job.
Yes, he told me. He told me you were a very good instructor. Kind of like walks over and like sits across from you. He goes, like, you kind of made a bit of a fool of yourself back there.
What do you want, Hog? Like I said, if you're here to gloat, I don't need it.
I don't know exactly what I'd be gloating at.
Over me making a fool of myself.
Well, I don't necessarily enjoy that.
Really? Because every single time that we have met, you seem to have a great deal of joy out of refusing to see me as a viable challenger. Seeing me as a warrior in my own right.
He kind of leans back and he's like, Naimora, I've always seen you as a viable challenger.
Mm-hmm.
You have defeated men who have defeated me. I know skill. However, my liege lord's brother was murdered by a Dornishman. If I lost to you, I would lose my standing with my lord. I never fought you, because if I beat you, I would gain nothing. And if you beat me, I would lose everything. It's not about your skill, it's about politics. That's what being a knight, I believe, is actually about.
So she has just like the flask like halfway to her mouth, and she's just like looking at him, and then she's like,
yeah.
Why don't people just tell me things?
I thought you knew.
What? No.
I gave you nods and things to sort of let you know I thought you would. Did you misinterpret those? I even gave you like a head shake at the hunt, like, we have to go off with these people who don't know what they're doing.
All right. How to in the read, women, especially women who look Dornish, whether or not they are full Dornish or not, are treated like shit.
Yeah, I know.
So why should I think that anybody outside of the Reach should be different?
It's maybe like he's never really thought of that. It's that face that like privileged white guys get. Yeah, I guess I do live a pretty good life. And he's like, honestly, didn't think of it.
My entire life, people have refused to see me as anything more than a Dornish woman. Just
kind of nods.
It doesn't matter that my mother is a Reach woman. It doesn't matter that I've lived in the Reach for pretty much my entire life. It doesn't matter that I went through all of Old Town and just fought everybody who said that I couldn't. None of that matters. So, when someone refuses to fight me on even ground and never tells me why, what am I supposed to think? Other than that, I'm a woman. I have Dornish blood.
He nods again.
And those two things have been the main things that have held me back.
He goes, I understand. I do get that.
Does he? Does he really? Does he look like he's processing?
Maybe.
He's trying. He's making an attempt.
He's making some form of attempt. He's like, but you have to understand, in the real tournament, in the real game, all we are, knights, is what others perceive us to be. If I am not a gallant and well-fought soldier, then what the hell am I? And yes, you have Dornish blood, and you're a woman. Most of this world will never respect you, ever. You could be incredibly skilled, but anyone who beats you is going to gain no recognition. In fact, most will gain the opposite because they beat a woman. I know you're skilled. I've seen you fight. You've seen me fight.
Henrik got a...
Goes, well, I didn't really want to hurt the boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
They're like, you won't tell me when I threw the fight, right? So Naimora, you do know he kind of threw the fight.
Yeah. I know he was kind of holding back. And could have taken a lot, probably taken more.
Yeah.
Just...
I wanted to hurt Darren for what he did. The little... He got stops.
He's a stupid teenager. He thought he was in love.
Yes. I don't think you understand what Sylvie's gone through entirely. And that the culmination of all these things happening, sister. And then to have that boy come up and do that at her wedding. The culmination of everything she has worked for.
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't a shitty thing of Darren to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's ever... One dead child is too many dead children.
He's not a child, he's a man. He's 15, he's a man. He is a entitled man, a man who has lived his entire life in... But he is a man. If he was much younger, yes, he was a child and we can't. If he was 10 and did that, everyone would laugh. But no one laughed because he's not a child. He needs to stop acting like one. And that starts with people stop treating him like a child. I decided to not treat him like a child, and I treated him like a man. Then Henrik steps in. I like that boy. I like him a lot. I didn't know anything about his fighting skill. But he's good. I can tell already. Strong, too.
You should have seen him a couple of weeks ago. We fought a bunch of Ironborn on a...
I heard that.
I'm so proud of him. Him and his sister. They're going to be...
Yes, Mariella. She's a beauty. I can already tell she's a lot like Sylvie. And a lot not, but...
I want to make sure that they can be whatever they want to be.
If society lets them. But I guess I just wanted to come here and say, I'm sorry that you were angry. And know that this is the reason why I haven't, nor probably ever will, fight you publicly. There's a certain way things are done. And the further you get from the capital, the more things are likely to change. The closer you are, the less they are.
I'm sorry I shouted you.
He laughs. He goes, well, now that I sort of get your perspective, I might have shouted as well. But time and place. Part of being a knight is serving people, serving your lords. And if you act rashly, that makes your lords look bad as well. Gerard wanted me to kill the boy very. and I serve Gerard. Sylvie said she wanted me to kill him, but she was angry. Sylvie hates death.
I don't blame her after everything she's been through.
It's awful.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, note, they know that that's the truth and long and short of it. And I suggest, if you're going to keep doing tournaments, understand that a large reason why men won't fight you is because they'll earn nothing from it, and all this is politics and gain and favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are a few noble knights that believe in honor and the pursuit of combat and idealism, and they're rich or privileged enough to not understand what it's like to eat a dog to survive. I'm not going to go back to that life. So no, out of public view, I believe you are one of the finest combatants I've ever seen. And in a war, would be proud to kill men alongside you. But out on the pitch, I can't acknowledge you.
It's all politics.
He nods. Any knight who doesn't believe this is all about politics is dreaming or old and drunk. But if you do it, if you become a lady knight, it might change.
I have something to aim for.
You're already better than a third of the knights I'm aware of. You just have to find someone brave enough to do it.
Doesn't matter. If I'm not the knight, I can't go back.
He nods. I don't exactly know what that means, but kind of shrugs. You just have to find someone brave enough.
Yeah.
He gets up. Well, I will leave you to lonely day drinking.
The best kind.
Enjoy your crowded day drinking.
And he'll leave. All right. Didn't expect to have that conversation. Awesome. So the post-wedding celebration is a lot of people getting drunk.
Mhm.
Sylvie gets drunk.
Ooh.
Nice.
She gets
girl.
real drunk. As
Hey.
does Kevin.
Hey, they've been through a lot.
Yep. The Kevin a lot of the time continues to ask, sit basically at these certain points of the table where basically his parents would sit, and he asks you to sit in their places.
Aww.
Do you accept?
Go, Vivian.
Is that a Tedric in me or?
Yeah,
like
Tedric and Vivian.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
You sit at that main table. You go, guys.
Yeah.
You're his family now.
Mm-hmm.
Before I step up, I will go over to Henrik first,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I will lean down, put my arm around his shoulder.
Already in like cup number 3 of wine.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Don't make this
Yeah.
difficult for me to oversee you.
I want you to make sure nothing happens to Darren. I don't trust the man that's with him.
Alright. I'll keep an eye out for him. I just make sure he didn't get killed. It'd be pretty terrible if he died the same day. So
Yeah. So Darren isn't at the celebration. You want
where
to
is
go?
he?
You can find him pretty easily.
Okay. I'll just like check up on him.
And I will
Like,
proceed to go and with the
I was like,
my
hey,
wife
I'll probably like
and
check up on him,
down
make sure he's
where
alright. But yeah.
their parents.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you want to go check on Darren, yeah, you find Darren. He's like in the dark on the other side of the moat, and he's like skipping stones. And he's talking to Orton Lugas. Orton is sat up against a tree, like 15 feet away from him, reading a book. And you just hear him like mid conversation. Darren skips another stone. He goes, "That actually happened." He goes, "It did actually. It's fairly well recorded." He goes, "So this isn't. So this could have gone way worse." He goes, "Yes, yes, it could have."
I can assume they're talking about some sort of duel or something like that.
Probably,
well.
yeah.
Okay.
And as you come across, Orton goes, here he comes, the duelist. So like 3 cheers, hip hip. And Derek goes like, hooray! None of that. You can definitely tell. Or just
I know.
He goes, hey, cousin.
Hello, Darren.
Are you gonna punch me?
Not today, but I can't promise that I won't do it in the future. And I won't do it on your face, I promise. Just, maybe an arm or so, but I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, maybe by the time I do see you again, you'll be able to punch me back, so.
Perhaps. You see Orton kind of get up, and he's like, well, I'll leave you 2 young lords to it. And he's like, Orton? He kind of looks over, he goes, thank you. Just anytime. He goes, Henrik? I think my Lord Henrik kind of nods to you, and he'll just go back inside. Yeah. Do you want to say anything to Darren? Or do you just hang and skip stones?
Oh, I want to hang. I kind of want to ask him, even though I know it's a pointless question, be like, does he know what's going to happen afterwards? I'm kind of curious too. If has his brother, anyone told him about what is he going to be sent somewhere?
Yeah,
ask him where you're going.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sent off.
Nowhere.
They're still kind of talking about it. I know Kevin's first choice is me to foster with Uncle Diedrich. If they don't agree, then I think I'm gonna be sent to somewhere in the Riverlands. Apparently, Sylvie does not want me to ever be seen by her again. So
yeah, I could see why. She's angry, and I have a lot of sisters, so I know how angry women can be, and they hold on to grudges for a while. But hope that maybe one day she'll be a little more be able to calm down, and
I hope so.
You can come back home one day.
I hope so.
And I don't know if it'll do any good, but I'll try to talk to my father. I wouldn't mind you coming to live with us for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I could learn a lot, but I also know if you guys don't want to deal with the whole thing, I would understand. We'll see.
We'll see. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut back, Mariella.
Yeah. But I left you again. I'm so sorry.
So there's lots of drinking. There's music. What are you doing?
Well, Naimora's nowhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are up at the head table now. My brother has abandoned me.
Well, you're at the head table too.
Okay.
They're just now placed in the spot where his parents would sit.
Okay. Oh man. She's real fucking nervous because she made a big fucking display earlier in the sept.
She did.
And in general, she's probably not getting drunk tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because almost all these people are strangers to her still.
Right.
It's just like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Tisea and Garrick are like not with us. Are they to bed, or what's up with the siblings?
The Soul Kids, yeah, I mean, they were around for a little while, but yeah, it's to the point where being moved on. Before that, though, you did see Walton and Tisea dancing.
Oh,
Aww.
that's cute.
How far was he leaned over?
She was on his feet.
Oh my god, I was gonna ask, like, is he on his shoes? That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He had, in fact, asked to dance with her, and then halfway through, Helen was because that's her brother, and then he danced with both of them. And then about 15 women descended on him.
Yep.
Like crows.
The baby makers were hot and
Obviously.
ready.
It's like,
Sorry,
ooh,
go dance
he's
with
good with
them.
children.
At this point, though, just before their kind of Harold Dulver is dancing with Helen, his daughter.
Oh,
Cute.
dance. Love it.
Mhm. Yep.
Where is
there
Garrick
have-
in all of this?
Garrett,
squirrels.
you don't see him. However, if you ask around, they're like, "Oh, he's right out in the courtyard," and him and a bunch of the other like boys around his are like having a rock war.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, pretty normal stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting involved with that at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you made that mistake a few years back.
I think that lesson was learned with Henrik, not with Garrick.
Yeah.
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 However, several men have come up to you and asked to dance with you.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm open to dancing. I'm sure my father has glared at most of them in the process.
Yeah, it did scare off a few, but others like still doing it, don't care.
Weighing their options.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, you dance with some men.
Yeah. Well-
A lot of them try and talk to you.
Okay.
Uh,
And anybody having anything interesting to say?
not really.
Awesome.
One guy seems to try and talk about your dress. But then he kind of makes kind of a lewd comment, and you're like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Farewell.
One of those. Oh, it'd look a lot better if it was off. Get the fuck out of here,
no,
Ken.
no.
Not to that level, but like alluding to that, I think. Ankle level kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then kind of it looks like before kind of an old ask you do see Walton sort of like cut in front of him.
I love that.
And he goes, Mariella, I know your attention is required in many things this evening. I know you're busy saving your family, but please, would you indulge me in a dance?
I'd be very happy to.
Fantastic. So when Walton takes you on the dance floor, it's specifically at a more. A lot of these dances are like the kind of like high pace, have fun dances.
Quick pace, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Walton doesn't like try and bring up anything at the moment. He seems to just be like smiling and laughing and having a good time like dancing with you. And then when it gets to kind of a slower part where you guys closer, he's like he goes like that was very brave what you did.
Let's just say it took a while for my heart to return to my chest.
I was shocked at what happened, but it takes a very brave person to stand up and try to preach reason to injured nobles. I've rarely seen it work well. Like you definitely you vex me a little. I'm not going to lie.
What have I done to do that?
Well, my father respects you for one.
I have like this. Wait, what? kind of expression.
So little people, but you have his respect, and that baffled me when I first heard that. I didn't know what to think of you, and then I see you here and seen what you've done, and I can't think of a better word than vexing. A positive vex, but a vex nonetheless. Your brother, I understand. Your brother's a good man. You, however, seem to be, what would be the term? Extraordinary.
I pray that's a compliment.
Well, if it didn't seem,
No, like she says it with like a bit of a smirk.
Yeah, it was. Well, it definitely was intended as such. You go out of your way to do things. I don't see that happen very often. Almost everyone is very comfortable with where they are. Very few will do that with genuinely good intention. And I could tell you socially would gain nothing by stepping up saying that. Besides actually trying to avert bloodshed. I mean, most of the people I know here wouldn't try to avert any form of bloodshed. It's more entertainment.
I do believe that would be true. I just find there'd been enough this weekend.
There have.
But no, go ahead.
I think I'd rather hear you speak.
I would like to think that those who are not with us would at least hope for a happier company in times, so.
I hope so as well. They're with the I think the 7 has taken them now, and I hope the stranger took them somewhere good. Some to a more comforting place, cruel place, and one perhaps to know that their family's all right.
It would be a comfort.
It would, wouldn't it? We get so few comforts.
Well, I would have to hope that I would at least get to see what type of happy company that my brother seems to find in your presence. He has not seemed to stopped basically enjoying the concept of someone he can relate to so much.
I like your brother. He's a very good man. And I think he has a lot more principles than others of his age. I think he also gets very little chances to have a lot of fun and perhaps embraces it with as much energy as he can.
I think only in some senses. From my growing up with him, I'm sure I have a few stories that could help dissuade some of that.
Well, I would love to hear you tell them sometime. And I would like to spend some time with.
Well, if I know my parents well enough, I do believe that my brother and my name day should have some sort of event where possible invitation to the Reach might happen.
Oh. I would love that.
I do believe it might deal with swords and horses and competition, if I know my mother at all.
I believe you have said the magic. I, being a great knight, could not refuse to come to such an event.
I would also have to hope that you could display such talent to put my brother in the dust.
If that is what my lady wishes, then it shall be done. And he twirls you. Yep. Fantastic. Nice.
This boy is smooth as bread. I don't think
really
smooth
I
as
don't
bread.
think trash talk right now, but this is just amazing. I love listening to this. This is awesome.
The smooth bread.
The smooth bread.
Oh,
Bailey, what are you doing?
Butter.
yeah. Yeah.
Waiting for so long for this conversation to happen, and it was
Bailey's on the
sideways.
side. It's like, talk to him.
So
Like, he hasn't
happy.
spoken to me.
So happy.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Worth it.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, you guys, if you let him, he will kind of dance, and then if you're tired, he kind of just keeps talking to you.
Yeah.
He brings you punch.
That's ridiculous. Servants bring you punch.
Sir,
He does
Kyle
something
Flowers
that's
brings us
He has
punch. You
his
kidding
servant
me?
bring her punch.
Fantastic. Naimora, do you ever join the festivity?
She does eventually, after like an hour of thinking about everything that Sir Hogg said. She comes back. Not fully drunk, but
Right. But pre-gamed. You're
yeah,
pre-gamed.
pre-gamed.
Yep. And you've had two different nights tell you very at this point. And it's food for thought. Yeah, you do join the festivities, goes into full swing. Eventually, it is begun. The time begins, and many of the men grab Sylvie, and many of the women and begin to drag them out of the hall and begin to rip their clothes off of them.
yeah.
Sylvie seems to be into it. She's just like, yeah.
Jeez, 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh yeah, she's all into this. She's just like giggling and laughing as
He is drunk.
yeah. Of course, her father's helping her as well. Tidrick, you would be asked to join a part of that party, and Vivian, of course, Kevin's as well.
Of course I am.
Of course, Kevin.
Yep. I think carrying them off the bed, the whole crowd, and they are thrown into their marriage bed naked. When some families like, all right, and go and watch. But not this family. This family, they're like, all right.
No audience.
And before you even leave, Sylvie has pinned Kevin onto the bed.
Yes,
You
girl.
girl.
Girl, know what
Yeah.
you want.
You get some light. That's right. She's great.
Kevin's
She
gonna
is
come
heading.
out of this just like, I married a man-eater. Oh no.
Gonna make a baby that night.
She
I swear
wolf.
to God.
Oh my god.
You're right.
I'm married a man eater that nearly got me to spit my soda all over.
You guys leave. The festivities continue.
Man eater.
Kevin, not Kevin, but Gerard and Ella kind of have like that adult after the party talk with Tidrick and Vivienne. They, you know, say thank you for helping make this go better than it would have been without you.
We always try to make the best of things,
Nods.
no matter what situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah. Like, well, you gain the respect of our family, so know that we will repay this favor. And I know you're protecting yours, and we'll protect ours. And I goes, yes, I will not lie. I wanted to just, well, that
Kill
damn
him.
boy, and then Gerard's like, all right, Ella.
All right, Ella.
All right.
I also
Mhm.
wanted to teach him a lesson,
But I think,
but I feel
all right.
he will learn better alive than dead.
I suppose. I hope we all just come out of this. I'm sure it'll be fine. Just fucking Gerard takes on a big drink. Well, I'm gonna piss and go to bed. Just Gerard.
Oh,
Ella's
class.
like, elegant. I'll join you.
Question: how long does Henrik stay outside with Darren?
Probably not long.
No, why not that long?
Okay.
Yeah.
You are
So
all
that-
out there till about 4 a.m.
So I'm gonna move this along a little more. The next day comes, everyone, you know, says goodbye, hugs and kisses and well wishes are
Oh.
exchanged. Yes.
Before we go,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say probably not that night, but the morning after we go, I'll bring up to my parents, both because I know my mother's gonna have a big say in this too,
Yeah.
and ask if they would consider allowing Darren to stay with us because you know he is not welcome home anymore.
Yeah.
And we are still his family.
Yeah, Kevin did ask you to think about taking him on as a fosterling.
This was the night before or the next day?
This is now. This is today.
Okay.
They understand if you wouldn't, there would be no like drama if you don't. But Kevin states that I think Tidrick is an honorable man, and by the caliber, he can attest that. And he thinks that if anyone could teach Darren, it would be you. You left an impression upon the the Weirlights have. Y'all definitely carried yourself pretty well.
Just leaving impressions wherever we go.
We didn't just turn it into a bloodbath.
You did not.
Oh, thank God.
I
finally.
will nod to him and then angle myself slightly and kind of look over at my wife.
Yeah. Opinion who really matters here.
Yeah. So, DM,
Hi.
is this I just have to make the decision, or are there
Well,
any
according to Tidrick,
okay.
Well,
if you want
the thing
to
is,
ask questions,
I want your
Yeah. Okay.
if you want to ask questions about the
for
world,
sure. Yeah, with the world standing, everything that's happened here
Yeah.
now, what would be, I guess, because I have to think of it from Vivian, so what is the view of the Westerosian like view on taking.
yeah.
What would happen if we took him in?
Yeah.
What
I
would
don't
the
know if
view
I
of everybody else be of our family at that point?
I mean, it's hit and miss, right? Like, it depends. It's everyone's gonna have a different opinion,
Right.
Yeah.
Other people will be like, ah, yes, they family raising him to be good and better, and others will be like, oh god, obviously they support his actions, like. And if you don't do it right, it's
Yeah.
That it's that's flip
it's the
flop.
same.
Right.
I guess the question is, does Vivian believe Darren could become better at her home, or believe that it would be too like dangerous or like
Same behavior, different setting.
right? Like it's generally that's going to be a call for Vivian because I can't tell
Right. Okay.
true or not. It's just what you kind of seen.
Okay. Then yeah, I believe in my husband and his ability to raise children. We have 5 of them.
Oh, they mostly turned out okay.
Most of them. I mean, we're gonna talk about that back home. But yeah, I'll nod at T-Drake, giving my affirmative. Sorry, I just immediately thought of 300. Which you know.
Pulling a headache.
I had that same picture in my head.
Darren in a hole.
That's perfect.
I think I was still Lena Headey. I think.
Oh, it was her, yeah.
We will take the boy, and I will
know.
teach him our ways.
Kevin looks so thrilled. He goes, "Thank you so much. thank you so much. This means so much to me." Note that, of course, anytime you need anything from us, just don't hesitate.
Yes. Question: is Sylvie there?
In this conversation, no.
Okay. Good. Maybe a visit from you every
probably for
once
the
in a while
best.
would be nice, and maybe send some ravens to let him know that you still care.
He goes,
He's feeling very alone.
"I will, Uncle. Thank you for your counsel. I will come. I hope I can rely on both of your counsel in the days to come."
Of course.
Of course.
If you have any questions, all you have to do is ask.
Thank you. And you can tell Kevin is like, I've lost so many things, but he's like, I've got my wife and I've got my really cool aunt and uncle.
We are that cool family.
Cousins.
We're the cool cousins and cool aunts.
Yeah.
Guys, look at us.
We be a cool fam.
Yeah.
Cool fam.
We're totally a traveling circus, but we're the cool fam.
Yeah, there's always one.
Yes, until we get back home.
Fine, but hell yeah, that's true.
And then we find out about all of that.
We'll see when we find out about all of that.
Why are we cursed? Oh god.
Yeah, so Darren will basically ride out with you guys.
Yeah, this was what I was going to be asking about. Is when that's why I raised my hand. I was like, we're going to find this out.
Yeah, I was like, should I come now? Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, so and then Henrik, you like, Father, Mother, can you please consider taking Darren? He's like they're like, he's already come.
Oh my
I'm
god.
going to be like, well, I don't know.
Well,
He's
we don't
so
know.
weird.
But we got you
Oh,
in
He is,
there.
he is a lot of trouble.
I know. I'll help out as much as I can. I know I'm still his age, but like I'll help him. I'll make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble, or at least I know it's not the best promise because I'm with him, but I'll try. And I'll kind of convince him.
So
that
are you
it's a
saying
terrible
you're
promise.
taking responsibility for him?
You have to promise
Yes.
to feed him and water him every day.
I'll promise to take him out and walk him. Yeah.
All right, good. We've already decided that he was going to be coming.
Oh god.
But now you're taking responsibility for him too, so we are good to go.
7 hells. Okay.
And Tedrick just played his son.
Yep, very much so.
It's hard because I'm here. That's great. I know.
So the Weirlight
That's
family
great.
packs
Hey!
up and ships
I
out.
like that
Walton says the Dulvers wish you all well, and say goodbye.
Oh yes,
Felice.
we definitely say goodbye to the Dolvers.
Yep. Felice, kisses you, Vivian. Like, send more Raven.
Of course.
All of the stuff, and same to.
I looked at Dover. Make sure you get them.
He goes.
Nice.
He
Nice.
just goes. How about you stick to fighting Iron Man there, teacher? Gives you a smile, and a clasp on your arm.
Best bros.
I was like, till next time.
Till then.
And Felice also goes to you, Mariella. Like, it was so great to meet you, and she gives you a big. It goes. I hope to see you more often.
I would hope so. This was such a short time to get to know you.
It was. There needs to be more time. I agree. Perhaps your mother and I will at some point. You're right there for this conversation, Viv. You're like right next to her.
Oh.
Just to let you know.
I would. Oh, we can make arrangements as soon as we return home.
Yeah. Walton, of course, says goodbye to you. Henry.
That's like next tourney. Tell me.
Next Tony. Absolutely.
Look forward to meeting you, but I'm pretty sure you'll give me a fair fight.
Oh, I absolutely. And he then goes to you, Mariella, and he goes, Lady Mariella. And gives you a bow, and I think he will take your hand and place it to his forehead, and he goes, 7 blessings upon you. And I hope we get to continue that conversation soon.
I do believe we receive ravens and such. Although, as past history has it, some of yours lose their way. And like a slight little smirk.
He goes, I have heard that. I think perhaps I'll look into it personally. Delivering a message, that is.
Uh-huh.
And he gives you an inclination.
Can I,
See
being
this?
grown that I am,
He's doing this in front of everyone.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I can I read what's between these two? Is it sparks? Is it interest
What's
gathering?
going on?
I mean, you can make your own assumptions from that.
Okay.
Oh.
I just kind of like elbow Felice a little bit. Like,
And she's just like,
Am I anticipating some sort of Harold Dolver comment as well?
no, he just says like, goodbye, Weirlights. Like Mariella, Cedric, Vivian.
Yes, we must be off as well.
Like Henrik, just like,
Thanks. Yeah.
Yep.
It's all right.
First in the head count.
Okay.
Yep.
Way to go.
I will shake Felice's hand gently,
Like, yeah, she
bring in the back of a toilet.
Other thing, oh,
Like the whole to the forehead thing.
thank you, Cedric. like lovely. Lovely to get to know you. Yeah,
We need to get to spend more time with each other.
we all do. Dolvers and Weirlights. I like that. Yeah, so you guys kind of depart from each other. You notice Tedric and Nymora, Orton Lugus way off in the distance, kind of like give you a quick wave, and then just like go off. He's just on a horse.
What about Tisea and Helen?
By himself.
Yeah. You go into the back of the carriage, Vivian, and you see Tisea sitting there and there is a large shawl of something next to her, and she's just sitting there acting like nothing is wrong.
What do you have there, darling?
Where, mother?
Besides, you should have packed your shawl away with the rest of your belongings here. Let me get that
He's like, no,
for
that's...
you. And I'll reach over and lift it.
It's Helen.
Uh-huh.
You see it, it's Helen, and she goes, and like pretends to be dead.
I see.
And she's just like, please, can she live with us? Please, please.
I need my follower.
Please.
I need my
Our,
personal
our,
minion.
our house doesn't have any windows. Please.
She
That's why you want to sign me
cannot
up
live
for.
with us. She cannot live with us, dear, but I will. Well, we can practice your letter writing so you can send her ravens. And we'll arrange meet more to say.
She sort of starts slinking down.
Uh-huh.
And then Helen sits up to goes, I'm fairly good with my letters. And they're like, we could write. And she goes, I don't know. Like, yeah.
To say, how else will you send her possibly an invitation to your next name day?
Like, well, that is important.
Mhm.
And I should write the letters. I mean,
Especially to Helen.
like, well, yes. And I was like, yes, I'd love to exchange letters. And he goes, very well. And then Helen runs out, and then just immediately jumps onto her father's back. And he does not seem to react as he gets in the carriage.
Yay.
All right, and the family's off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the Spanish
Ah.
Inquisition.
Can-
There's all sorts of Inquisition.
Oh,
So, Mariella.
Oh, I'm sorry, Naimura. What, you were going to say something?
no, Naimura, it's so before everyone
Yes.
left because Kevin is the lord of the house now, yes?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Okay.
He is Lord
Um,
Manning.
Yes, so before everyone left, while everyone is getting ready, Naimura would approach Kevin,
Mhm.
bow very deeply,
Sure.
and just say, I apologize for the scene that I made in front of you and your lady. It was uncouth of me.
Apology accepted, Naimura.
Thank you. I wish you and her a long and happy marriage and many, many fat sons, yes?
Smiles and then he goes, thank you. I think after this, though, I perhaps hope I have a daughter first. Perhaps it might prepare me better. And he goes, thank you for thank you for the service to my aunt and uncle.
Now to apologize to Lady Vivienne.
I like.
Ooh.
he just nods.
Mm.
An unenviable task.
That's all. That's all. Yeah.
Because we all know who really scares everyone in our family.
Oh God, yes.
It's not the big guy that can cut somebody in half.
No.
No.
However, I would like to now cut to Clarissa.
Ah.
We can always come back, but
What's
Clarissa,
Hello.
what are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's been about a day since the last time we've seen you. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I think she starts by getting that basic information that she had talked to Cedric about.
Mhm.
And then from there, it's almost kind of like what are we going to do? Because if we can't identify those people, then it's a blessing almost.
So yeah, he states that none of our men left, came in and out. No new strangers came in that anyone's seen. I did get direct reports that the men who that farm were wielding our insignia, the Weirlight one, but no the shield. But none of the shields are unaccounted for here. And he goes, I know where my men's be. He goes, a good amount on leave in town, but I have gotten reports from them, and none of them saw or did anything, and their gear was here.
Two of your guards' shields have shown up. The only two that I can think of that would have been lost in the first place were the 2 guards who died with me.
That's true. Like, we would have lost those shields. No other shield I can think of. I mean, we definitely lost some in the War of the Usurper. Everyone lost equipment in that war. And of course, overboard and Pike, several shields got lost. But I can't. Yeah, he kind of shrugs.
If the shields were to have come from the war, how likely do you think it would be that he would have some of them?
I don't know. Maybe he was at the Battle of Ashford. He was where we would have lost them. It's possible. The peasants probably don't know this, but we could identify. We've changed our standard since the war. The Weirlight is placed different. It's an older design, so if we saw them, we could identify them quite quickly.
Okay. Tell your men to start patrolling, I suppose, the best way to put it. Make sure that no one...
I already have.
Good. If they do find someone...
I've also spoken to Nero. He has no knowledge of this, and he confided something to me about proper placement and things, and it all seems shipshape.
Okay. Yes, if I have been neglecting some very important things, as of this point, I don't see an issue. There's many things other than this that I need to deal with.
I would say there is quite a stack in your office.
Oh, good. Okay, where's Birch? Do I have him?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll kind of nod at him and I'll tell him to keep me updated. And if they are the Rack Shields, then I think he and I both know what the next thing to do is. So, yeah, I will take Birch and I will go back to my office.
All right. Why don't you give me a status stewardship test?
$20.
20. Yeah. It's gonna take you a bit, but you go back to what your actual job was, rather than the past almost entire week of you just going, week and a half going full into this. It keeps you busy
Oh, that's
for a
good.
little while. Definitely keeps you busy.
How long until I think that the family will be back?
Oh, very soon.
Okay. Before then, I want to head back to the hedge. Yeah, I want to go back.
The hedge?
The ruins.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
You go back there.
Yeah, I think this time she goes kind of at dusk instead of in the middle of the day. And the same kind of thing. That message for her to not sleep has been stuck. Just stuck with her from her father's voice to, this sensibility that he's instilled in her. And she wants to figure out if that was something from here or if it was something that she was remembering. So I think she's obsessing over it a little bit because she would love to sleep, but she really hasn't gotten more than an hour or two since then.
I see. Understood. So you go into the ruin. You get up to that archway. And at dusk, you just feel a lot more on edge.
Mm-hmm.
And the most thing on edge, it's very strange. Because coming up to this place, you do actually hear wildlife. You hear some night jars singing. Some birds. Some shuffling in the bushes here and there, and squirrels like me. Night squirrel.
Is that
Yep.
the sound that squirrels make?
Yes, of course. Everyone knows that.
Nah.
So, but you are once again at the.
Weirlights here.
Yep. They
Okay.
always are.
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm just gonna watch them, and I'm gonna try and pick a couple, and then
Do you go into the ruins?
yes, this time she does.
You cross the threshold.
Yes.
When you cross the threshold, you can't hear anything anymore.
Like at all, not even from myself.
Do you make a noise?
Yeah, I think she like.
Yeah, you
snaps
snap.
close to her
It's
ear.
loud. It's incredibly loud.
I'm gonna kind of look around. Can I see anybody watching me?
Why don't you give me an awareness test? 11. You don't see anyone watching you, but you feel it. You feel eyes on you of some.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean down and I'm gonna try and I'll kind of keep my eyes around the ground at the Weirlights.
Yep.
I'm gonna start picking them.
Yeah, you go up and you go to reach down to pick a Weirlight, and you swear as you reach for it, the wind blows or something, but the flower almost looks like it turns to look at you.
She's gonna grind her heel into it, just
Yeah,
in
just like,
to the ground. Yes. And then she's turning around and she'll kind of look up at the archway and just she tells it that she'll be back.
So as you turn around, you swore you didn't go that far in. But you don't see the archway. It's just a wall.
Walk to the end of the wall.
Yeah, you see you're like in this like stone courtyard almost. And that's what it looked like from the outside of the arch, but you don't see it, but you turn back around and there it is. It's on the other side. But you swear you didn't walk this way.
Can I call for my dog?
You want to call for Birch?
Yeah, I would have kept him with the horse, not
Yeah.
wanting him in here, but I'll call for him.
Absolutely. I'm going to need you to make a animal test.
Okay.
5. You whistle and you wait. And you don't hear him coming and you don't see him coming.
And I still can't hear anything.
Yeah, I mean you can hear yourself, you can hear your own breathing.
But there's no like wildlife.
And as you're like looking around trying to listen, you begin to pick up a heart, and it's starting to get louder in your ears.
Yeah, she's gonna book it. She's gonna try and make it to the arc.
Book it to that arch. All right.
Mhm.
You run to the arch. And I would very much like you to make an athletics running test.
Wow.
9. Very nice. Very good. You feel your foot like catch something and trip, but you stumble and kind of gain your footing. Would you like to see what you just tripped on?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. You look down, and it's hard to see. Do you have a source of light with you?
Yeah, I think she would have brought a lantern.
Lantern. So you go down. At first, you think it's a branch popping out of the ground, and it's like yellow.
I'm gonna pull it.
You pull up. It's very difficult. Just make another athletics.
No.
10. Yeah. You
You're with me
succeed.
today.
You pull it fully out. You begin to like move the dirt aside. And as you pull it out, you are holding a yellowed skeletal arm.
Like pinches
And
it.
yeah.
But she keeps holding on to it. Like she doesn't drop it.
And there's something in its hand.
There it is.
What is it?
It looks like a piece of paper that
I'll
doesn't
pull-
look yellowed or much at all.
I'll pull out the piece of paper and I'll open it.
You see it's a torn page.
No way. Just one?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, I'm gonna take both the arm
Okay.
and the note. And I will continue running. Less fast this time, more like I'm gonna keep looking at the ground. I want to see if I can find any other of these yellow stubs.
Sure. As you pass through the archway, you are not where you believe you should be. You see a much larger court this time, and in the center there's a stone fountain. As your light seems to penetrate, and for some reason the clearing, trees all on the edge of it, but above you is open to the sky, and the moon is now shining fully on it, illuminating this to the point where you can see quite well. And there is a large stone fountain, and ahead at the other end of this courtyard, you see the dilapidated remains front wall of what possibly could have been a motte or a kind of smaller keep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go up to the fountain and I'm gonna look and see.
You look at the fountain. Well, the fountain is empty,
Okay.
but there is coloration all across the stone that looks odd. And if you put your lantern down into it, you see this kind of dark, almost black, like caking all along the inside of it.
I'm gonna lick my finger and get some of it off the wall and then rub it in.
Yeah. It looks, now that you've done that a little bit, you kind of smell kind of a coppery scent, and it looks a little more red.
I'm gonna look up, and she's convinced she's dreaming at this,
Sure.
falling asleep without realizing it. Weak.
Mhm.
So, she's gonna say, "All right, I'll play," and I'll start looking for another hand in the ground.
Just randomly in the ground.
Yeah, she's just walking around.
I mean, did you want to see what was on the paper?
Sure. Yeah. If I can read it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can quite clearly act. It has a drawing of what looks like like a landmass or like an island, maybe. And there is a drawing of a tree on it with a face. And it says, written in Maester Hamden's handwriting. Not Hamden. My bad. I'm an idiot. Hamden was the Maester
Luden?
thing. Yeah. Yes. The old Maester of the house. Handwriting says, "It must be here." I think the answer is on the Isle of Faces.
Hmm.
Nice. She like looks at it and then she goes, I should have brought Thorsten, and folds it back up and puts it in her pocket. On the keep wall, is there anything there or is it just crumb?
Make
Is
an
there a door?
awareness test!
Okay. That's better.
Cool. You look up wall, and yeah, there's some like was an opening, but it's not, and there are some windows, and you look up in one windows, and there are two parallel green lights.
I'm gonna watch them for a second and see if they move.
They do.
Okay.
They move like this, then like that, and then turn that way. And the lights sort of disappear.
Right. I'll go and walk towards that wall and see if I can get back behind it.
All right, you walk towards that wall. There is like an as you kind of look to get through it, a hand and arm burst forth and grab you by the throat. And suddenly green light erupts across your face, and you wake up.
Where am I this time?
Like you are in your bed.
I'm gonna look around. Is there anybody here?
Mm-mm.
Can I reach into like my pocket or bag?
It's the dead of night from the look of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find like my stuff. Do I have the hand still? Do I have paper? I'm just gonna start looking.
You don't. However, you do see there is something.
Sorry, say again.
There's something written on your hand.
What does it say?
Isle of Faces.
Hey, Boston, and she like runs out the door, even though it's the dead of night.
Yeah.